Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today's episode is going to blow your mind, especially if you've ever handled a penny and just tossed it aside without a second thought. Because we're diving deep into the story of the 1968 1-cent coin from the United States of America. This is not just a piece of copper. This little coin might just be worth a whole lot more than 1 cent, and in some cases, it could even be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. You might have one sitting right now in a jar, in your wallet, or even under your couch cushions. So make sure to watch all the way to the end because we're going to break down its value, its history, how to spot a rare one, and what collectors are paying for it in today's market. Let's rewind the clock to the year 1968. A year of historical change in the United States. Political shifts, social movements, and economic developments were shaping the nation. And while most people were focused on the headlines, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing what would become one of the most talked about 1-cent coins among collectors decades later. The 1968 penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, which has been in place since 1909 to commemorate the centennial of his birth. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. So this coin is not just currency, it's a living tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. In 1968, the U.S. Mint struck the Lincoln penny at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. And this is where things start to get interesting. Each mint location has its own story, its own quirks, and its own potential for hidden value. The San Francisco Mint coins are the ones you really want to look out for, especially if you're into proof coins or rare mint errors. But we'll get into that shortly. Let's talk about mint marks. These are the tiny letters beneath the date on the coin that tell you where it was made. For the 1968 penny, you might see no mint mark at all, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. A small d, which stands for the Denver Mint. Or an s, which means it came from the San Francisco Mint. Here's where it gets juicy. The San Francisco Mint was producing proof coins in 1968. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially prepared dies, giving them an ultra-shiny, mirror-like surface. These aren't your average circulation coins. They were made specifically for collectors. If you've got a 1968 S-proof penny in pristine condition, you could be looking at a small gold mine. But even the regular 1968D and 1968 no-mint mark pennies can be valuable, depending on their condition and whether they have certain errors. We'll talk about those errors in just a moment. Now, let's get to the part everyone wants to know. How much is this coin worth? Let's start with the most common, the 1968 Philadelphia penny with no mint mark. If it's been in circulation and has visible wear, it's typically worth just face value, 1 cent. But if it's in uncirculated or mint state condition, it could fetch between $5 and $20, sometimes more depending on the quality and demand. The 1968 penny is quite similar. In average circulated condition, it's worth about 1 cent, maybe 2. But in mint condition, collectors are willing to pay between $10 and $40 or more, especially if the coin is graded and certified. Now here's where things get exciting. The 1968 S penny. Proof versions of this coin, when they're still in beautiful, mirror-like condition, can be worth $20, $50, and even more. High-grade proof coins graded PR68 or higher have sold at auctions for over $100. But wait, there's more. Errors are where things get really lucrative. Some 1968 pennies have been found with amazing minting mistakes. These include doubled die obverse, where the lettering and numbers appear to be slightly doubled. These are extremely rare and can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's condition. Off-center strikes, coins that were struck when they were not properly aligned. Depending on how far off-center they are, these coins can be worth $50 to several hundred. Clipped planchets, when a piece of the coin is missing due to a misfeed in the minting process. These coins can easily fetch $20 to $75 or more, Even pennies with minor die cracks or repunched mint marks can command premium prices if collectors are looking to fill gaps in their sets. If you think you have a valuable 1968 penny, the first thing you need to do is protect it. Handle it by the edges, store it in a coin flip or protective holder, and consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade gives buyers confidence and can significantly increase the resale value of your coin. Coins graded MS65 or higher can go for much more than raw, ungraded coins. That's especially true for the 1968 S-proof coins, which are stunning when they're well preserved. Part 6. Market trends and what collectors are paying today. So, what's the market like today? As of this year, the demand for vintage US pennies remains strong, particularly among collectors who are searching for the last few pieces to complete a set. On auction sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections, 1968 pennies in top condition or with errors continue to see competitive bidding. Recent sales include a 1968 S-proof penny graded PR69 sold for over $150, a 1968D with an off-center strike broad in $120, a double die 1968 penny went for $950 at auction, and these are just a few examples. Coin values fluctuate with market interest, collector demand, and the rarity of the piece. So keep your eyes open. Even a simple jar of pennies could contain something incredibly valuable. So should you hold on to your 1968 penny, or try to sell it now? If your coin is average and well-worn, it's probably best kept as a historical piece. But if it's in near-perfect condition, or if it has a known error, it might be worth grading and selling. Always do your research, get a second opinion, and check recent auction prices before listing. Alright folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the 1968 United States 1-cent coin. Hopefully, now you understand just how fascinating and potentially valuable this little copper piece of history can be. If you've got a coin collection, it's time to dig it out and take a second look. You never know, you could be sitting on a mini fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Drop a comment below if you have a 1968 penny or any other interesting coins you want us to talk about. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1981 penny. We'll uncover its hidden secrets, the reason why collectors are going crazy over specific versions of it, what to look for, and how much it's really worth in today's coin market. Stick around till the end, because we'll also tell you how to identify the rarest versions that could make you a tidy profit. Let's jump right in. The United States 1-cent coin has a long and proud history, dating all the way back to 1793. But it wasn't until 1909 that the now iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln was added to the coin's obverse, replacing the earlier designs and marking the 100th anniversary of his birth. By 1981, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 70 years. But here's the twist: 1981 was one of the final years before a major change in the penny's composition. For decades, the U.S. Mint produced pennies primarily out of copper, but starting in 1982, that all changed. Why? Because the value of copper had increased to the point where it cost more to produce a penny than the coin was actually worth. So in 1982, the Mint began transitioning to a copper-plated zinc penny. That means 1981 marks one of the final years you could get a penny that was solid copper, 95% copper and 5% zinc. These 1981 copper pennies may seem ordinary, but due to their age, composition, and some minting quirks, they can be incredibly collectible. Let's talk about where the 1981 penny was minted and how to tell the difference. In 1981, there were three main mints producing pennies. Philadelphia Mint. These have no mint mark. Denver Mint. These bear a D mint mark. San Francisco Mint. These were used for proof coins and have an S mint mark. The Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for circulation, while the San Francisco coins were mainly for collectors. But here's the key: it's not just where they were minted, it's how they were minted. The 1981 proof coins made in San Francisco were struck with more precision and greater detail, and they're highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to come across a 1981 S-proof penny in pristine condition, especially in a high grade, you could be holding a very valuable piece. But that's not all. Here's where things get really interesting. The 1981 S-proof penny actually has two different types of mint marks, Type 1 and Type 2. Type 1 has a blurry, filled S mint mark, while Type 2 has a clear, sharper S. The Type 2 mint mark is much rarer and more valuable. How rare are we talking? Type 2 proof pennies in PR69 deep cameo condition can sell for over $400, and some near-perfect ones have sold for over $2,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth over $2,000, and to the untrained eye, both coins look almost identical. So if you've got a 1981 S penny, take a close look at that mint mark. You could be sitting on something special. Collectors love error coins. These are coins that were accidentally misprinted at the mint, and 1981 had its fair share of them. Some valuable errors to watch out for in 1981 pennies include double dia verse, DDO, where the date or lettering appears doubled off center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned clipped planchets, where a part of the coin is missing due to a cutting error die cracks, which leave raised lines on the coin. Even a minor error on a 1981 penny can boost its value significantly. A standard coin might be worth just a cent, but an error version could sell for $50, $100, or even more, depending on the uniqueness and condition. Let's talk dollars and cents. Literally, a regular 1981 penny from circulation is still worth, well, 1 cent, unless it's in uncirculated condition. A brilliant uncirculated 1981 penny, especially from a mint set, can fetch $1 to $5 depending on the buyer. But if we're talking proof coins, and especially Type 2 San Francisco mint marks, values can soar. A 1981 S Type 1 proof penny in PR67 condition might go for $10 to $30. A 1981 S Type 2 in PR69 deep cameo could reach $400 to $600. A PR70 Type 2, the highest grade possible, has been known to sell for upwards of $2,000. And error coins? The sky's the limit, depending on rarity and condition. Just this past year, a 1981 double-die penny in MS65 condition was auctioned off for over $800. Want to check if your 1981 penny is valuable? Here's what to do. Use a magnifying glass or coin microscope. Look closely at the date, mint mark, and lettering. Weigh it. A real copper penny from 1981 should weigh about 3.11 grams. Check for errors, doubling, cracks, or off-center strikes. Compare mint marks, especially on proof coins. Look for that Type 2 sharp S. Get it graded. Consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you believe it might be valuable, then you can list it on auction sites, coin marketplaces, or bring it to a local coin dealer. The more you know about your coin, the better chance you'll get top dollar for it. So there you have it. The 1981 1-cent coin from the United States might look like pocket change, but in the world of numismatics, it could be a tiny copper gold mine. With the right condition, mint mark, or rare error, your humble penny could be worth much, much more. Now it's your turn. Go check your change jar, look through your old coin collections, and who knows, you might be holding on to a 1981 penny that could fetch you a fortune. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a treasure hunting tip from our channel. Share this with a friend who loves coins or collectibles. If you've ever looked at the small, coppery penny in your pocket and thought, it's just a cent, then think again. Because today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1991 1-cent coin. Yes, that humble little Lincoln penny minted in the United States. And you'll be shocked to learn that some of these tiny treasures could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. That's right. One little cent might just make you a whole lot richer. So stay tuned, because in this video, we're uncovering the full history, secret varieties, rare errors, and current market value of the 1991 penny. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Let's jump in. Our story begins in 1991, a year of global change and technological advancement. The Cold War was ending, the internet was just starting to become a reality, and over in the United States Mint, billions of small coins were being produced for daily commerce. Among them was the Lincoln cent, which by then had already been in circulation for over 80 years. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design was revolutionary at the time. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person. And it's stuck with us ever since. But in 1982, the composition of the Lincoln cent changed. Rising copper prices meant the mint had to switch from 95% copper to a primarily zinc core with just a thin copper coating. That same composition carried through to 1991, so most pennies from that year are actually 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, not solid copper like older coins. But even within that seemingly mundane year, something very interesting happened. In 1991, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents at two main facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. That's why if you look closely at your 1991 penny, you might see a tiny D Mint mark right under the date. That means it was struck at the Denver Mint. If there's no mint mark, then it was made in Philadelphia. Here's a quick breakdown of how many coins were minted. 1991, Philadelphia over 6.1 billion coins. 1991 D. Denver over 4.2 billion coins. That's a lot of pennies. So what makes some of them so valuable? It comes down to two major factors, condition and errors. Let's talk about the holy grail of coin collecting, mint errors. While billions of coins were minted, not all of them came out perfect. Some have dramatic, rare, and highly sought-after flaws that make them worth serious money today. Here are some known and rumored 1991 penny errors that can make your jaw drop. Double die obverse, DDO. This error occurs when the coin die itself has a doubled image, meaning features like the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, appear to have a shadow or second impression. A strong double die can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially in high grades. Off-center strikes. These coins are struck misaligned from the planchet, and depending on how off-center they are, they can fetch from $20 to over $150. Broad strikes. If a coin is struck without the collar that forms the rim, it expands outwards. This makes the coin look wide and flat, often valued between $10 and $50, depending on condition. BIE error. A small die break between the letters B and E in Liberty, that looks like the letter I, is a classic collector's favorite. While not rare, it's popular and can sell for $5 to $25 depending on clarity. Clipped planchet. When a portion of the coin is missing due to an error in blank cutting, that coin becomes highly collectible. Prices for these can range from $30 to $100 or more, depending on size and location of the clip. And here's a twist. Solid copper 1991 pennies, while extremely rare, can exist due to transitional errors or wrong planchets being used. These are almost impossible to spot by eye alone but weigh slightly more, 3.11 grams instead of 2.5. If you find one and get it verified by a grading service, it could be worth over $1,000. Now, let's talk money. Just how much can your 1991 penny be worth? Most 1991 pennies in average circulated condition are worth only face value. But, in uncirculated or mint state condition, they become much more valuable. A 1991 Lincoln cent, Philadelphia, graded MS65 red can sell for $15 to $30. A 1991 D Lincoln cent in the same grade can fetch $20 to $40 if you're lucky enough to find one graded MS67 or higher. Prices can skyrocket up to $200 or more, especially if the coin has full red luster and no contact marks. For error coins or varieties, values vary widely. A double die obverse in mint state can go for $500 to over $2,000 major off. Center strikes with visible date can bring in $100 or more, and as mentioned earlier, a verified solid copper transitional error penny could be a five-figure find. Collectors and dealers are always hunting for these gems, and auction houses like Heritage Auctions and eBay have listings that show how these small coins can turn into big payouts. So, how can you get started? First, grab a scale. If your 1991 penny weighs 3.11 grams, you might have a copper planchet error. Next, use a 10x jeweler's loupe or microscope to inspect for doubling, die cracks, or other oddities. If you think you've found something valuable, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can boost the value and help you sell it to serious collectors. Also, check online marketplaces. Sometimes sellers unknowingly list rare coins at regular prices. If you know what to look for, you might score big. The 1991 Lincoln penny might look like just another coin in your pocket, but in the world of numismatics, it holds a world of possibilities. From fascinating historical roots to rare, high-value varieties, this coin is more than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the 1991 penny is a perfect reminder that treasures often hide in plain sight. Check your jars. Search your drawers. Inspect those old rolls of coins. Because the next big find could be waiting in your own home. And remember, every coin has a story. What story will your 1991 penny tell? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1991 1-cent coin and want more videos about rare US coins, historical currency, and money mysteries, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another episode. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny, or if you're going to start checking yours now. Could a simple 1-cent coin from 1993 be worth a small fortune today? You heard that right. That little copper-colored coin in your change jar or hiding in your old drawer might just be a hidden treasure. While most of us overlook pennies, especially the modern ones, collectors and coin hunters know the truth. Some of these coins are worth way more than their face value. In this video, we're going deep into the fascinating world of the 1993 1-cent coin from the United States of America. We're talking about its history, how it was minted, what makes certain 1993 pennies extremely rare, and yes, how much money they can bring you in today's red-hot coin market. So don't skip a second, because by the end of this video, you might just be digging through your old coin jar hoping to find one of these valuable pennies. Let's begin with the basics. The 1993 1-cent coin is part of the Lincoln cent series, which began way back in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Fast forward to 1993, and we're still using the Lincoln design, but there are some key differences in the materials and minting techniques that collectors pay close attention to. By 1993, pennies were no longer made of pure copper. In fact, since 1982, the U.S. Mint had switched from 95% copper to a composition of 97.5% zinc with a thin layer of copper plating. This was done to save costs, but it also created opportunities for minting errors and unique varieties. The 1993 penny features the classic Lincoln bust on the front, with the words "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date on the right. Flip it over, and you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, with the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum above, and the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. Now here's where things get more interesting. The 1993 penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, Denver coins have a small d, and San Francisco coins, primarily proof coins, have an S. Philadelphia and Denver minted billions of these pennies. We're talking over 14 billion combined. So naturally, most 1993 pennies are only worth face value. But, and this is a big but, certain rare varieties, errors, and proof versions have become highly collectible, selling for far more than 1 cent. Let's talk about errors. Error coins are like the golden tickets of the numismatic world. They're mistakes made during the minting process, and they can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. One of the most sought-after errors in 1993 pennies is the double die obverse. This error happens when the coin is struck twice with a misaligned die, leading to visible doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's face. Some double die errors from this year have sold for over $300 to $1,000 depending on condition. Another valuable variety is the off-center strike. If the image on the penny isn't perfectly centered, you could have a coin worth $50 to $500 or even more, based on how extreme the misalignment is. Then there's the mysterious wide AM reverse, though officially it was not used in 1993. But some collectors believe transitional dies may have been mistakenly used in very rare cases. If you find a 1993 penny where the A and M in America are spaced far apart, don't toss it. It could be a six-figure mistake. Proof coins are made differently. These are not your everyday pocket change. In 1993, the San Francisco Mint produced proof Lincoln cents for collectors, using polished dies and special minting techniques. These coins have mirror-like backgrounds and sharp details. Most 1993's proof pennies are worth a few dollars, maybe $5 to $15 depending on condition. But if it's a perfect proof graded PR70 deep cameo, you could be holding a coin worth $100 to $300 or more. And if your coin is both a proof and has a rare error, congratulations, that's the jackpot. The condition of your coin is everything. Coin collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless specimen. A 1993 penny straight from circulation is probably worth face value. But if it's in mint state, especially MS65 or above, it can bring in $5 to $25 or more. And when you add in rarity errors or proof status, that's when values start skyrocketing. Let's take a look at a few real examples. A 1993 D penny with a double die error in MS66 red sold at auction for over $600. A 1993's proof penny graded PR70 deep cameo has sold for more than $200. An off-center 1993 penny missing over 30% of its design went for over $400. It's incredible how much difference a little detail can make. Now you're probably wondering, how do I check if I have a valuable 1993 penny? Here's what you do. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You want to examine the coin closely, especially around the lettering, mint mark, and Lincoln's face. Look for doubling, misaligned strikes, and strange spacing. Flip the coin, inspect the Lincoln memorial, the word America, and check for die cracks or chips. If you think you've got something rare, consider sending it to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. And please, don't clean your coin. That can reduce its value drastically. So, is the 1993 1-cent coin worth money? In most cases, it's worth 1 cent, but in some cases, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's the beauty of coin collecting. The rare, the unusual, and the overlooked can become incredibly valuable. So go ahead, check your change jar, your piggy bank, your old drawers. You might have a rare treasure waiting to be discovered. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1993 penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on valuable coins and collectibles. We've got tons more coming up, including other coins that could be hiding in plain sight, just like this one. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a tiny coin that might be hiding in your wallet right now. You've seen it. You've used it. You might have even dropped one and left it behind. I'm talking about the 2020 United States 1-cent coin, the humble penny. But guess what? This seemingly ordinary little copper-plated coin could be worth way more than just a cent. In fact, some rare versions have been selling for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. So how is that even possible? Why would a coin minted just a few years ago suddenly become so valuable? What makes the 2020 penny special? And what should you be looking for in your own spare change? Stick with me, because I'm about to tell you everything you need to know, from its fascinating history to the secret details that can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's jackpot. Let's start at the beginning. The 2020 1-cent coin, minted by the United States Mint, features one of the most iconic designs in American coinage. On the obverse side, we have the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it's remained on the penny ever since. The words, "In God We Trust," arch above his head, "Liberty" rests to his left, and the date 2020 is stamped clearly to his right. Flip it over to the reverse side, and you'll see the modern Union Shield design. This version of the reverse was introduced in 2010 and represents Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single, united nation. The shield has 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, joined under a single horizontal bar, symbolizing unity. Above the shield reads, E pluribus unum, out of many one, and across the middle in bold capital letters, 1 cent. While millions of these coins were minted, not all 2020 pennies are created equal. In fact, some of them are secretly rare, carrying hidden errors or unique features that skyrocket their value in the numismatic market. Now, you might have noticed a tiny letter below the year on your coin. That's the mint mark, and it tells you where the coin was made. In 2020, 1-cent coins were minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, S mint mark. Proof coins only. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for general circulation, but the San Francisco Mint made proof versions intended for collectors. These are high-quality coins with mirror-like finishes and are struck multiple times for extra detail. Each mint produced millions of coins, but again, quantity isn't everything. Some coins, especially error coins and proofs, can be incredibly valuable. Let's talk about that. This is where things get really exciting. What makes some of these 2020 pennies worth far more than their face value are mint errors and rarities. One of the most sought-after types is the doubled die penny. This error occurs during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin gets misaligned or stamped more than once, creating a blurry or shadow-like effect on the lettering or design. If you look closely at Lincoln's eye, the date, or the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust, you might spot doubling. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds of dollars online and in auctions. Next, we have off-center strikes. These happen when the coin blank doesn't sit correctly in the press and the design is stamped off-center. The more dramatic the off-center error, the higher the potential value. A 2020 penny that's 50% off-center with clear date visibility can fetch over $100 to $300, depending on condition. Then there are die cracks, cuds, and clipped planchets, all rare minting errors that collectors absolutely love. Each one tells a story of a mechanical mishap during production, and some of these coins have sold for several $100s, sometimes even more, and don't forget about proof errors from San Francisco. Even though these are struck with extreme care, mistakes still happen. A proof coin with any kind of visible error is like striking gold in the coin world. So what's the market like today? As of now, the average 2020 penny in circulated condition is still worth 1 cent, no surprise there. But those rare varieties we just mentioned? Let's look at a few real examples. A 2020D double die reverse penny in mint condition recently sold $4.50. A 2020 off-center penny with 60% misalignment sold for over $300. A proof 2020S penny with strike-through error fetched more than $800 at a collector auction. And here's the thing. Collectors are actively looking for these coins. With the rise of online marketplaces like eBay, Etsy, and dedicated coin forums, it's never been easier to find buyers who are willing to pay top dollar for the right coin in the right condition. But condition is key. A coin's value increases dramatically if it's in uncirculated or mint state condition, graded by trusted agencies like PCGS or NGC. A mint state 67 or 68 2020 penny with a visible error? That could be worth a lot of money. So what should you do? Here's how to start your treasure hunt. Go through your loose change and sort out every 2020 penny. Check the mint mark. Look for P, D, or S. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine the coin closely. Look for doubling, off-center designs, unusual textures, or cracks. If you spot something interesting, take clear, high-resolution photos. Compare your findings with online databases, collector forums, or get a professional appraisal. And if you think you've found something valuable, don't hesitate to get it graded. A small investment in grading can turn a pocket penny into a valuable collector's item. So the next time someone tells you a penny isn't worth picking up, remember the 2021 cent coin. While most are ordinary, a few are hiding extraordinary secrets. Whether it's a doubled die, a rare proof, or a mint error, you could have a treasure worth hundreds, even thousands, sitting in your coin jar right now. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a journey through history, design, and discovery. So check your change, stay curious, and keep looking, because the next rare coin might be in your hand tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into rare coins, coin values, and hidden treasures, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Got a rare coin you want me to review? Drop it in the comments, and maybe I'll feature it in the next video. Until then, happy hunting, and may your next penny be worth a fortune.